2.5 tablespoons of oil, a pinch of Asafoetida, 1 medium onion, about a tablespoon of chopped garlic, about a tablespoon of ginger, lentils, carrot, potatoes, a pinch of salt, half a teaspoon turmeric, and some green chilies, 3 medium tomatoes, fenugreek leaves, lots of spinach. So let's start with oil first. I always use vegetable oils for my Indian food, purely because it's neutral. So 2.5 spoons. Bring it to real good heat before I add asafoetida. So a little pinch, you don't need too much of hing in my opinion. And it sizzles, which is perfect. You should always just let the hing kind of, what you do is basically you make a hing flavored oil. That's what you're doing. Yeah. And then let's add onion, which is about 1 medium onion I have taken. Now onion generally takes a very long time to cook. So trick of the trade, always add a pinch of salt. It helps onion to cook really well quickly.
Oh, okay. So one more tip learned.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I had just added garlic, which is lightly brown, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add ginger also now.
For my rajma, I think I have to do a bit more red onions, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, of course. But this is Sai Bhaji.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't need to color it.
No.
At least that's what
So
Auntie's recipe tells me.
that was ginger garlic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm going to add lentil.
Right.
Okay, just quickly coat it with oil and everything. And I'm going to add carrots because everything is going to be mushy eventually. So it doesn't matter. And I'm going to add the potatoes as well. It's actually essence of everything you're using. That's what it is. And that's what I like about this recipe. A little bit more salt. Turmeric, just about half a teaspoon I'll use. And green chili, I would say 2 taste, depending on how much you like. Okay? Mix it all together. And then let's add the water. Now, what happens here? If you had a pressure cooker, yeah, you would add everything, even tomatoes would go in, and you would bring it to give a couple of steams. 1 steam is actually good enough, so 1 whistle, and then you take it out. The lentil is perfectly cooked. Now, if you're cooking in a pan like this, then you have to let lentil and potatoes cook first before you add tomatoes, because tomatoes have got an acid, and they would stop or at least slow down the lentil from cooking. Okay, so just remember that whenever you're cooking lentil, don't add tomatoes first. Always add a bit later till the lentil is almost cooked. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just let it come to a boil.
Yeah, I hope my wife's watching it. So no tomatoes when we're cooking lentil. Till the time
but
they're cooked.
not for the pressure cooker though. In pressure cooker you can. Okay. So let's bring it to total boil. Give a full power. Get to a quick boil, and then we'll add tomatoes and let it simmer on the side. So it comes to boil, and I'll add all the tomatoes. Okay, they are about 3 medium tomatoes I've used.
Right. Okay.
And I'll add this and let it simmer, boil, cook really well. The whole mixture becomes really mushy, and that's what we are trying to achieve here. Right, so it has taken about good 20-25 minutes, I would say, for lentil to cook properly. Especially I have added tomatoes, so tomatoes actually slow down the cooking of lentil. For the show, I had to add tomatoes, but if you can stagger the adding of tomatoes a bit later, it'll be fun. You can easily do that. But in pressure cooker, you can put everything together, cook it through, except the spinach.
And how much time in the pressure cooker?
Pressure cooker, 5 to 7 minutes, because it's like anything else, how much time it takes to build this steam. Okay, so now it's really boiling. I have to add Kasuri Methi. You can add fresh methi as well, but Kasuri Methi works slightly better in my mind. I might be wrong. Deswani auntie might kick me for this. But I think Kasuri Methi has got slightly stronger flavor. But fresh methi, yes, that'll also be good. So you see each and every grain is perfectly cooked.
Wow.
That's what we wanted. Yeah, it's mushy now. So what I'm going to do is add the spinach as well. So my
It's good I did not have breakfast this morning, so so it'll be amazing.
it'll be nutritious food
Yeah.
today for you. So do you ever eat junk food?
Sometimes, not very
Sometimes.
often. Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is, because spinach doesn't take very long to cook, it just wilts and it's absolutely done. So I'm going to take it away to the blender and I'll come back after blending it, okay? And Sai Bhaji, of course, it can be served as a side dish, but if you're serving it as a main dish, then you serve it with rotis.
Okay.
Okay, let me just blend it quickly. Now, coming back onto the pan. Okay. Look, this is
Oh, yes.
kind of a little bit of slurry, I would say. So I would prefer it to be a lot more thicker. I think this one auntie would definitely like it to be thicker than it is. So there are two ways to it. One is a cheating way, how a chef can cheat. And the way I would do it, I would make a roux, kind of a glue, so to speak, with chickpea flour, besan.
Right.
So you take equal quantities of besan and oil, cook it together. So you get that glue and that add little bit by little, it becomes thick. And it actually will go well because there's lentil and chickpea flour is actually nothing but made with chana. So it'll actually just thicken the whole thing. Or the next method, which I'm going to follow, is to cook it through a bit more. So it becomes slightly thicker. So this one is acceptable in my opinion, but I know this Vani auntie is perfectionist. So she would have liked it absolutely.
I'm tempted.
Thick.
I'm tempted to taste it now.
Okay, so we're going to serve this with roti. And
Wow.
I didn't make roti because you know what? You guys make better roti than I do. But I had my sous chef who made rotis for me. So we're going to just serve in 2 seconds. Right, folks, this is absolutely ready. But before I serve this to my famous singer, let me just tell you quickly how I went on to make this. So I started with 2.5 tablespoons of oil, added a pinch of Asafoetida or hing, sauteed that, and then added onions. We sauteed onions till they were translucent, and after that I added about a tablespoon of chopped garlic, sauteed the garlic lightly, followed by ginger, and then I went on to add lentils, carrot, potatoes, and in spices I added salt and turmeric and some green chilies. And I added plenty of water, cooked it through. When the lentil was just cooked, we added tomatoes. And then once the mixture was absolutely cooked, I added fenugreek leaves and then added lots of spinach, cooked it just literally for 2 minutes, removed it and blitzed it through with a hand stick blender. And here it is. I haven't added anything else. Let's try with some roti.
Lovely.
Stroke paratha. You know, Punjabis, they don't make rotis, they make parathas. You like it?
I'm going to take some home.
You're sorted?